Welcome to Global Challenge 213-216. I'm Clarity Ross, bringing the big boost to you, to the world, which is in the form of right use of affirmations. It's the super fast, super effective way to go about it. Not everybody will do this because they want to try to be split loyalty to home and this home we've tried to make. Our real home and the home we've desperately tried to home away from home. Our real home and our home away from home. Try to be loyal to both, equally loyal. And so we say, no, we don't want to go home. But for many of us, some of us at least, we say, hey, this home away from home is never going to be like home. It's not. It's a very, very rancid substitute, and we really are tired of it. So we want to go home. So affirmations are the quick way home. It's like taking an airplane to Japan from the West Coast. Take an airplane from San Francisco to Tokyo, instead of trying to swim. Okay, we don't want to try to swim from San Francisco to Tokyo. We want to take a jet airliner there. Okay, affirmations are that big old jet airliner. It's a fast cruise. Or we could say we could take a beautiful cruise ship, but fast cruise ship. It really cruises across the Pacific, and we enjoy our time. But certainly we don't want to swim. We don't want to swim. So we need to do something that provides secure, safe, fast effectiveness, and affirmations do that. Now, in the previous affirmations, I've been giving out various formats to use. And now in this video, what I'm going to do is advise you that you can make up your own. You can make your own. And I'm sure that those who are so far along that they're able to understand that how effective affirmations are, they're capable of making up their own affirmations, most definitely. Most definitely. And during the day, and whenever one is awake, maybe even when someone's sleeping, something may come to mind. Something may come to mind, and say, "Hey, let me see if I can work one up. Let me see if I can work an affirmation up." God's light is mine, His vision I see. God entrusts His gifts to me. Something like that. Okay, just made that up. God's light is mine, His vision to see. God entrusts all His gifts to me. And you can make stuff up as you go along to fill in the time. If you're feeling creative, something may just come to mind. That's perfectly okay. God's peace is mine. His vision I see. Or God's peace is mine. His light I see. For I am still as God created me. God's peace is mine, His light I see. God's fixed will sets me free. There's another one. God's peace He gives to me. God's fixed will sets me free. All right? So using the basics, it's like the three chords. You can do a jam session. You can just say, hey, let me play something that most piano players, musicians like to fiddle around a little bit, and they think I can come up with something really cool. Well, some of the time, yes, and some of the other time is just wasting time, actually. Speaking from experience, a lot of experience with that. A lot of jam sessions just kind of get nowhere. So it is important to at least have some structure instead. Otherwise, sometimes people just get off and it just all gets all kind of convoluted and confusing, etc. So try and get it into a format like a song. That's a challenge. So yeah, I'm jamming on this riff and this riff and this riff, and then let me put these three riffs together. Let's say you find some really nice riffs. Then let's say, okay, let's see if we can put them together. Let's see if we can string them together and throw a song around them. And there you have a really nice song, which is what the songwriters usually do. They come up with these really catchy riffs, and then they build a song around those riffs. So you can say, God's peace of mind, His light I see. God's fixed will sets me free. See, there's some riffs. God's light, God's peace is mine. There's a nice riff. God's peace is mine. His vision, His light I see. There's a nice, His light I see. God's fixed will sets me free. There you have a nice little affirmation. So building your own affirmations is fun. It's actually fun. and probably necessary because, again, if you're this far along, you're not a robot. You don't want to just follow. I had a hard time following the lessons in A Course in Miracles because I said, I'm not a robot. I don't want to just follow along 1, 2, 3, no way. I want to be creative. So by all means, we need to be creative, but be intelligently creative. And don't try to be creative just for the sake of being creative. Just be creative for the sake of being effective. Being effective. If you can come up with something that you feel is effective for you, then do so. God's holiness is shared in oneness with me. God's eternal light sets me free. Again, God's holiness He shares with me. God's eternal light sets me free. Various things can be done. Whatever you can come up with. Truth is the light in which I see. God's fixed will sets me free. So keeping the second part the same, and for most of them, enables you to do a nice riff on the first part. God's holy peace. Peace shows oneness to me. God's divine light sets me free. God's holy peace shows oneness to me. God's holy light, God's divine light sets me free. So you have to work at that. God's holy peace shows oneness to me. God's divine light sets me free. God's holy peace, God's perfect peace shows oneness to me. God's divine light sets me free. Okay, so I'm just making these up on the fly. And you can get into one. If you feel one that's appealing to you, just use it. Use it. God's seamless peace shows oneness to me. God's divine light sets me free. So don't feel like you have to come up with something on your own. Some people are scared to do that. They think, oh, if I come up with something that's not in the book, that's not going to work. It's going to ruin, it's going to destroy me or something. No, it will not. It will not destroy you. It's not something magical. I mean, if it doesn't remind us of reality, then it doesn't remind us of it. That's all. There's no ill effect of it or anything. It's either useful or not so useful. So if you find something that's truly useful, then feel free to use it. The vision of oneness, this moment I see. That could be the first shift. The vision of oneness, this moment I see. I'm surrounded by divinity. The vision of oneness, this instant I see. Surrounding myself with divinity. This holy instant, this holy, the vision of oneness, this instant I see. Surrounding myself with divinity. Something like that. So that's a different take on it. Just using your mind to put stuff is a very profound meditation. And so you can try to come up with those. I'm just trying to think of those different formats. You don't have to use the surrounded by light, uh, abiding in light. Let's see, surrounded by light, abiding in peace. My bliss and joy is bound to increase. Surrounded by light, abiding in peace, my bliss and joy is bound to increase. There you go. Now that's not in A Course in Miracles. That's not anywhere. It's just something that just I was able to put together. Surrounded by light. Imagine yourself surrounded by light. You can use your imagination here. We're not robots. Surrounded by light. Abiding in peace. I forgot the second part. What is it? Okay, I got it. My joy and bliss is bound to increase. Surrounded by light. Just imagine yourself completely surrounded by light. Absolutely surrounded by light. This beautiful golden light just completely surrounds you. You're surrounded by this light. Surrounded by light. Abiding in peace. You feel that where you are, your dwellingness, your abidingness is in this vast realm of total peace. Abiding in peace. My joy and my bliss is bound to increase. How could it not? So, surrounded by light, abiding in bliss, abiding in peace, my joy and bliss is bound to increase. Surrounded by light, abiding in peace, my joy and bliss is bound to increase. So we will try that one. Okay, we will try it. All right, here we go. Surrounded by light, abiding in bliss. My joy and bliss, hold on, peace, is bound to increase. Let's try it again. Abiding in light, no, I'm sorry, surrounded by light, abiding in peace. Oh, I got it wrong. Oh, yeah, I guess right. Okay, it's not easy to get started. Okay, surrounded by light, abiding in peace. My bliss and joy is bound to increase. Okay, first one. Surrounded by light, abiding in peace. My bliss and joy is bound to increase. Again, surrounded by light, abiding in peace. My bliss and joy is bound to increase. Now I'll say the whole thing and then you say the whole thing by yourself. I'll say it first. Surrounded by light, abiding in peace. My bliss and joy is bound to increase. All right, now you say it. Okay, I'll do it one more time. Surrounded by light, abiding in peace. My bliss and joy is bound to increase. Now you say it. All right. So, there's an example. By using time to try and come up with something, I tried really hard there, came up with a really good one. A really, really good one. Abiding in light, surrounded by light. And you can say surrounded by golden light, abiding in eternal peace. My wondrous bliss and beautiful joy is bound to increase. In other words, you can embellish it, or you can go slowly. Surrounded by light, and just then spend some time imagining that. And then abiding in peace. My bliss and my joy are bound to increase. And here's another tweak on it, slight tweak, okay? Surrounded by light, abiding in peace, my bliss and joy divinely increase. There you go. Maybe that's even better. You can probably tell I've been a musician. That's maybe why I'm able to do this stuff. You're always searching for a slightly better riff. So you don't get too bored. You don't want to play the same thing over 1,000 times. You want to tweak it a little bit. Surrounded by light, abiding in peace. My bliss and joy divinely increase. That's a powerful one. Let's try it. Let's try it one time here. Surrounded by light, abiding in peace. My bliss and joy divinely increase. Again, surrounded by light, abiding in peace. My bliss and joy divinely increase. All right. Very great. You see? Here we go. It's a cruise ship, isn't it? It's a nice, beautiful cruise ship. Going across the ocean, no problem. Not too fast, but not too slow either, that is for sure. All right. See you in the next video. Take the challenge. Take the global challenge. Be sure to do it. Be sure to do it so you don't have any regrets.